what are the most common mistakes investors make when they seeking remedies, like rush to the litigation, as you mentioned, or waiting passively? Many managers ask them to be patient. Maybe they lost the time to whatever in the future. So how do you think rely on the verbal promise from the developers?
I think Stephen to a large degree answered that question. The mistake investors make is they may pay a fairly significant retainer on a large basis, let's say a class basis. To many investors, they pay a large retainer. And before there's any clear path that there's a claim. I mean, that would be an example where you don't know if there's a claim. There are very few cases post-RIA where it's black and white. The cases where investors got involved was fraud cases. There have been a handful. One time, there's a case in Florida, somebody in Palm Beach County, the lawyer stole the money, left the country. He got a criminal action against him. We put a receiver in. Unfortunately, he's in jail somewhere, and they didn't get the money back. They tried to grab. So what happens is they try to grab all the assets they can grab. That's okay. I get it. But you really got to be careful before you jump in and sue somebody. You got to do what Stephen said. What are you suing for? What's the facts? Give me the facts. We have all the facts we need. Does it pay to sue because the project has a problem? And in some cases, we see that the sponsor is very responsible, has spent their own money litigating, and they're fighting as an NCE on behalf of the investors and giving reports. That's the case where why would you sue the sponsor if they're doing exactly what you would do? I mean, that's a good example.
Right. And Eric, there's another, what you suggested earlier, or one of your comments suggested earlier, is, sometimes investors will rely on, promises. Well, I know I owe you the tax returns. I will send them next month, I promise. I know I owe you a quarterly report. I know I said we'd have an investor meeting. I promise we'll do it. After some point, that's not going to happen. And it does make sense to then, talk about engaging counsel. So a common mistake that we do see is relying too long on too many broken promises.
Okay. So regarding the report, Steve, you mentioned many times about the investor report from the GP. So is there any necessary information? Because I saw some regional centers, they provide very simple, very rough investor report.
Yeah, there's no one standard. I mean, some are very, very good at giving detailed. We have clients that give very, very detailed, robust quarterly reports. They're dozens of pages long. And I've seen some that are half a page. Now, if I'm an investor and I get a half a page report, I'm going to have more questions than answers. So, it is good practice, and we encourage our sponsor and developer clients to give robust, fulsome reports to investors, and then open it up for questions every now and then. Maybe have an annual Zoom just like this, where people can submit questions. Communication is key. And if investors are not getting the communication they feel entitled to, they should be asking more questions.